So it's the build-up for the last race today here at TCR UK at Knockhill. Lots going on. This is a bit of a sight, isn't it? These guys have worked flat out on this Veloster of Bradley Kent's. Brad, just doing a little walk around the paddock, mate, before the last race of the day. Sorry?
Hello.
Hello, how are you? Sorry.
I'm not bad.
You proper caught me out. I was like, I thought I'd said something wrong. It's not the best of weekends. You're on the back foot, actually, aren't you?
Big time. Since Monday, we've been chasing the car to try and even get it here in the first place. We've struggled getting any body work for the car, as you can see by even just looking at it. Rayanne and the boys have done a fantastic job to be able to actually get it to where it is, even to get it out on the track. I mean, we've got the speed. We know we've got the speed. I should have been fourth in qualifying if I didn't get pinged for track limits. Just then, I think I could have possibly most definitely would have been on the podium if it had just survived to the end of the race. It's just annoying. It just seems to be every year we just have bad luck after bad luck. But I think after this weekend it's just going to come completely apart before Silverstone. I'm going to put it back together with all new parts, so hopefully the reliability it's a little bit better, hopefully.
How much of a difference does having a proper working front splitter, all the body work and just everything in general working properly? People just think, it's just body work, it doesn't matter.
On the Friday testing, we were running without a splitter for one of the sessions, and I was losing at least 5/10 just from that front splitter, just where it just picks up. The air obviously gets underneath it and it just picks the front up, which then just causes a load of understeer, especially through Clark's coming onto that back straight. You just lose so much time. But no, when you've got a car that you can get in and trust it from the off, you just seem to go faster in the first place. And at the start of the year, we knew how fast we were when we were on pole at Snetterton. We obviously got kicked out for a wheel speed sensor that had gone wrong, but we knew we've had the pace the whole time. It's just a case of getting a little, like just then the drive shaft went. That's something that you can't really, unless you're changing them every time you go out. You never know when something like that's going to go. But I think around here it's more likely to happen, so we're just going to have to keep thoroughly going through the car and changing pieces when we can and putting new bits on. Cool.
Listen, leave you to it. No, you've got engineering debriefs, everything going on. The splitter, see in a bit, the splitter we were talking about is this part here. For people who don't know, don't want to tell you to suck eggs, but this is a damaged splitter that has been repaired as best as they can by these guys down here with Essex and Kent Motorsport. Family team, proper good guys, good girls. Follow me. Let's go and have a little wander around the paddock. That's Warren the dad, flat out. Looks like he needs a wash, but anyway, he won't be happy with me saying that. But yeah, let's go and have a look at what's going on. So, Callum Newsham. It'd be good if we could catch up with Callum. We can't, but just quickly, we'll stop just here because Dave Newsham, who's Callum's dad, I used to race against in another Tin Top series. He's just checking the tyres, actually. It's quite a good little shot. Let's have a little look. I know the guys are flat out. I'm not going to take too much of Dave's time, who's Callum's dad, but I do want to ask him a quick question. Actually, Callum's not too busy. So, Callum, can I just borrow you for a second? We thought this lad was going to win today in that first race. Good to see your dad doing a bit of work, mate.
Yeah, he's always working.
To be fair to him, he's a very supportive dad, isn't he? And it's a difficult weekend so far, isn't it, mate? I honestly thought after that first race yesterday, this was the win you were going to get, mate, but it didn't turn up, did it?
Yeah, no, I thought I was going to be quick in that one, but got shunted in the rear, the turn one. And then got contacted at the bottom of the hill. I think it's just knocked the tracking out a bit, so I was always steering everywhere. But yeah, a bit unfortunate.
Just one of those things, mate. Do we know anything else about, I think it was Jensen Brickley maybe that had contact with you?
I think it was Marshall in the Audi, but I've not heard anything about it, so it's obviously just a racing incident, isn't it?
One of those things, mate. Last race, crack on. Just got to go, haven't you?
Yeah, hopefully we can make the car quick and less oversteery. It's because I'm just losing all that time at the start. The car comes well, like mid-race, but just lose all that time at the start. So just need a good race car and hopefully get on the podium for the last race.
See what happens, mate. Leave it to it. Looks like there's new front tyres going on your car, maybe?
Yeah.
He's going for it. He's going for it. No worries. Well done, Callum, and well done to Dave Newsham, his dad as well. Let's have a little wander around and about here. Gary Townsend. Yeah, that car looking like it's, well, there's a lot of work going on these cars, and this is pretty late on in the day. The grid for the next race for TCR UK is the second fastest time from qualifying. So yeah, lots and lots of things going on the back. If you're wondering what that is on the back of that car, it isn't somebody's underpants. That is actually Gary's balaclava. So obviously you get a lot of hot and sweatiness inside these cars. So best thing to do is let them air on your £10,000 spoiler on the rear of your Audi TCR. Lovely. Let's talk about some other people. There was a lot of incidents in that race 2 of the weekend. And Jensen Brickley, who I do apologise to, because he didn't have anything to do with the Callum Newsham incident. It was quite close. That was one of the other Audi Gen 2 cars. I think he said it may have been Jack Constable, which is an interesting one. Brad Hutchison, he's looked pretty quick all weekend, to be fair. And Brad's starting to come of age, really. But in the Gen 1 Audi, this guy's a bit of a hero, because the first generation of the Audis is a fantastic car, but he is beating some of the Generation 2 Audis, which are, let's put it this way, they're a lot faster. I've driven both the Generation cars, and the Generation 2, the newer Audi TCR, is a lot faster. So a lot going on. Can we just show you this? This isn't a secret, but... So, we're scraping the tyres here. Well, we're not. I'm not. Can you just talk us through quickly? This is such a good technique to show people. So you've got a heat gun, heat the tyres up, and then why would you scrape that? Why can't you just let the car do it?
Because you just need to get all the pickup off to allow more grip. So you're kind of giving the you're kind of giving the driver the heads up, aren't you? Really? Yeah, just assisting the driver. It just stops the driver having to get rid of it on one of his push laps or one of the formation laps.
And this is one of the hardest jobs that any mechanic, and I'm assuming you are someone who's pretty new to the team. And what's your name? Sorry,
Jamie.
Oh, good lad. So Jamie's there flat out getting all that rubbish off the tyres. This is what you get picked up. Some of this rubbery scraping off, a lot of it isn't that tyre's rubber, it's the rubber that's been picked up off the track out there, and what Jamie's doing there is just getting rid of that rubbish, and it makes the tyre like brand new. So this is a used tyre, but just shows you how much effort and time goes into it. Thanks, fella. Have a good one, mate. Spot on. Right, okay, let's have a nice little wander around here. Knockhill is one of the best tracks we visit. It really is fantastic. What people don't realise is, well, when they ask me what my top 3 circuits are in the country, I'll say Brands Hatch GP, and Knockhill is right up there. Knockhill is one of the most committed, difficult circuits that we go to, and getting across those curbs and making sure that you don't knock the geometry of the car, tracking out and things like that. It's a really difficult thing to do. So we will have a look at, well, Restart Racing, actually. That's quite an interesting team to look at. So if we can, follow me round. We're at the back of the awning of Chris Smiley's FL5 Honda Civic. This might be a bit of a duck and dive, but follow me. I need someone behind me now. We're joking. I hope I don't get whack myself on the back of the head. But yeah, just to give you an idea of what's going on, just mind your step. Perfecto. So we've got Scott Sumpton's car, the old FK7 Honda, I think that is, and then we've got Chris Smiley's new FL5 Honda here. Looks like Chris Smiley's car is getting a bit of geometry work put on it. If you can see here, the front bar, and then you've got really old school string down here, which is so interesting to see. A lot of teams have lasers, but this string here attached to the car, and then from the string they will measure how far the wheels are at the bottom and at the top, and then what happens there is they can put camber on the car, and they can set the car up geometry wise and just make sure that the car turns better or just has a bit less rotation in it. When we say rotation, it makes sure that the rear of the car doesn't turn too fast and cause what we call oversteer. So a very difficult one. Bert Taylor is somebody I want to speak to. So it's that big man there who owns Restart Racing. He looks very busy actually, but what we could do, should we go in? It doesn't look too busy. Let's have a look in here. They're having a good year, but it could be better. I'm sure Bert will just give us a quick word. Bert, can I just borrow you 1 second? Good to see you, fella. Always run a fantastic team. Just telling the viewers at home about using strings instead of lasers. That is a great thing to see, because too many teams rely, a bit of static off that car then. Is it a hybrid?
It was, yeah.
But it's great to see strings being used on the car for geometry. It just gives you a proper reading, doesn't it?
Well, when you look at it against what we're already using, and we know when we put them back, they're always the same. And if you put on a digital, you're not really sure, are you? You don't know where you are, and we like it, but I think we're old school.
There's nothing wrong with being old school. Talking to Chris Smiley yesterday, said the car's great, but that you're just trying to fine-tune it that little bit more. Kind of feel like you're developing the car in the UK here. If I'm being honest, looking from the outside in, you guys are like flat out doing some factory work here.
It feels like it for sure. It's very difficult because the car's been very little usage. We've only done a few miles with it, and it's been hard because when you buy a new car, you always think that it's going to come out of the box and that's it. But unfortunately, it's only done 3,000 kilometres before we got it, and we've done most of it. So we are really trying to help develop. But today, it just wasn't fast enough, and that's what life is. Racing is like that. You have to go home, work on it harder, come back in a week's time and see if we can go faster, and that's what we're going to do.
Scotty Sumpton's, I think it's been a great move for him coming to your team, and there's a lot of development gone on with his driving. He's looking pretty strong. He's going to get a good result, isn't he, sometime?
Yeah, like I said, it always takes 2 or 3 years. As you know, with Chris, it took 3 years before we could win in the other formula. So this time we came back and was able to win, and I think with Scott, another 2 or 3 races, and then next season come back, and I think we'll see him more in the top 10, more closer to the 5, and hopefully we can do a better job, and that's what we're aiming for.
Top man, Restart Racing, Bert Taylor, proper stuff. No worries at all. It's good to speak to the main people of the championship. Look at this, we've got lots of fans here. Worry about the cars. Worry about them cars. Look at all these people here. They're loving life, loving life. First TCR, first TCR meeting?
TCR, yeah. Been here a few times for the touring cars and stuff, but thought we'd try this.
Did you see that TCR race we had just this morning? What do you think of it?
Carl Border had an amazing race, and then we heard the speakers and we were like, what happened? Then we asked Carol and he said, I don't know.
To be fair, as commentators, we didn't know either until they come across the line. But great to see everybody here. Are you having a good time?
Mm-hmm.
How's that drink?
Good.
That's the answers we need live on TCR UK. Great to see you guys. Love being up in Scotland. You're always very nice to me. Oh my word, Bob Moffett. Bob Moffett. Aidan was ringing me actually. Oh, he's there. He looks like a model. Why has he come as a CNA fashion model?
Really not sure. It's
have I got my collar up?
That's better.
How are you, mate? All good?
Good, mate. Good.
Not far for you, this?
That's a nice change, isn't it? It's been a close race track, but it's nice to be up and watching and not a bag of nerves.
Well, I was going to ask you about that because last time you were here, you were on the front row in 2017 in TCR. Wouldn't mind a little crack back at it. It's good, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's great cars and great racing. I think back then there's a few things with the championship, but now with short lines, the way they've taken over and got things running, it looks a real professionally run championship, which never thought I'd see the day with Stuart, but he's done a fantastic job. It's a great grid, some really good drivers, and it's brilliant racing. So yeah, it's something I would probably like to get back involved with, and looks really enjoyable racing.
Super, it's good to see you, and it's good to see you sober actually, because last time I seen him was at the Grand Prix. So actually Bob didn't look too drunk, but Aidan on the other hand, he was smashed. Anyway, this is going well. See you later, boys. Top work. We love those guys, love them to death. Right, okay, we've still got judicials and things going on from that other race we were with before, so I'm not too sure what's going to be said about this. Carl Boardley's team, that car looked, to be fair, that looked like the fastest car around Knockhill in that race, which I was quite impressed with. So the guys they're more or less done, and look at the markings on the floor. If you can come round and see, so the team will measure the car and they'll put the markings down to see where the wheels are going to be exactly. So when they're measuring and making sure that the car is geometry set up brilliantly, they will work off those lines. It's a bit like when you see F1 when they put the cars in the box. So good stuff. Hope you guys are well. Are you like security guards?
Yeah, we're leaning here. That's what we're doing, leaning.
Thought you were going to knock me out then. Anyway, let's get away from these two rascals. Jensen Brickley, well, there you go. He's still got his first place because look on the floor. That was a great drive from the youngster before. And I think, to give him his due, there's a little bit of paint on the front of the car here, a little bit of blue there, but I've got to say, around Knockhill, I'd be lying to you if I told you I've never driven a race car around Knockhill and not had contact with people. It's just whether they, it's just whether the judicials and people think that it's, you know, a bit too much. But let's see. But that was a great drive from him. I was really pleased to see him win, and it wasn't his first win. He's also had another win beforehand. Right, that's a noisy generator, which is lovely. Let's have a wander down here. This is Paul Sheard Racing, and they're running Jonathan Beeson, and they're running Oliver Cottam as well. So I've just caught these guys are an interesting team. Love them to bits. This lad here, that's Toby. He's just back to help out for one round. He's doing the same as what we've seen Jamie doing with Brad Hutchison's car. Just checking for flat spotted tyres. It's very dark in there, but a lot going on. These cars, these are the Generation 2 cars, so these are the newer version of what you've seen Brad Hutchison's Bondit car. And these cars are super, super fast. They're having a bit of a problem with drive shafts, I believe. They had to send Toby out, who you just seen with that tyre. That's sent him over to Germany on Friday night to get some more drive shafts, because on the curbs these particular cars don't like them at all. So follow me, because I just want to quickly speak to this man. This is the gentleman that runs it. Pep, quick word. 2 drive shafts had to be picked up from Germany on Friday.
Yep.
Bit of a nightmare, mate. The drivetrain doesn't seem very strong on the curbs.
No, it doesn't, but I think we got to the bottom of that now. But now we've got fuel issues, so we're just put a new tank in the car and hopefully that'll do the last race so we can actually get one decent race.
A new tank?
Yeah, put a brand new fuel tank in the car.
If you guys at home think that racing is easy, Pep has sleepless nights like the other teams, but it's so difficult. Why is this place so hard on cars, mate?
I just think the speed's up and the curbs are hard and they're taking off and landing, and I think that's what's damaging the drivetrain.
Oliver Cottam, actually pretty quick, to be fair. Jonathan Beeson, he's a lap time before. Mate was fast. Yeah.
His lap times are well in the top 10, comfortably running the top 10. It's just a little break, and he's doing about 3 laps before the fuel issues coming in, and then the lap times are dropping off. So hopefully now, with the new fuel tank in, he can run some decent pace.
Perfect. Well, good luck, mate. I hope it all goes well. Well done. Oliver Cottam, actually, I just want to quickly speak to him. You, lap time-wise, were pretty quick, mate, in that last race, but I think the damage was done, wasn't it?
Yeah, the damage was done at the start. Just on a hill, launch control wasn't set high enough, I think, personally. And obviously on the hill, you needed more RPM to set off, and just kind of bogged down really hard. Nearly stalled it. Glad I didn't, with being even worse. But damage was done. I was catching, but it's too late.
Okay, mate, listen, good luck in your final race, which is coming up very soon. Let's have a wander down. That's most people covered, to be fair, but I was going to go and see the guys down at Goodyear. Just so you know, there's a little bit of insight for you. See that Golf there? That is Dan Lloyd's ex-TCR UK Golf, and that had pole position here in 2017 when these cars first come here. I was supposed to drive that on Saturday in the first TCR race, but I chickened out because I was busy going up one of the mountains in Scotland. But yeah, so this is where the magic happens. This is usually full. Well, you can see these are the tyres for TCR UK. You've got wets in there. A lot of people were buying wets. They thought that this was going to be like the wet weekend, and it has proved to be the dry weekend. And a lot of these wets are still on the truck. They're not getting used. But there's a lot of slicks in there. I'm not too sure these used ones on the left-hand side. They may be, yeah, they're damaged ones. See, they've got crosses on them and circles on some of them. That's where they've picked up some damage, and I don't want to get that wrong. So I'm just going to quickly ask one of these guys here. Hello, gentlemen. How are we all doing? Are we all good? No? Can I just ask a quick question? He's got a broken jaw. Right, quick question. Circle tyres with a bit of a cross on them. Are they damaged?
The cross ones are scrap. The ones with circles are just marked where there's a bit of debris in the tyre or something. So they just want us to inspect the tyre before we scrap it.
A lot of problems here, isn't there, with debris? Junior racing and just racing in general. It's very tight, isn't it, around Knockhill?
If you see all the damage coming in on the cars, all the bits have got to go somewhere.
Yeah. And they're not carbon fibre. Well, there is bits of carbon fibre, to be fair, and fiberglass.
Fiberglass, bits of glass, bits of steel. There's quite a bit of stuff in the tyres. That's why all those circles are in there.
Sounds like a scrapyard. Right, thank you for the info. Really appreciate it. Perfecto. Right, let's take a left here. Actually, no. Listen, we can hear the bagpipes are going. Where's the bagpipes coming from? Oh, look at this. This is amazing. Don't know if you can see, just on the side there, typical Scottish, giving us a fantastic welcome up the top there. There's a joke there about blowing bagpipes, but I won't say it. But I haven't actually had a go of blowing bagpipes, but I am in Scotland quite a lot. And I've got to say the Scottish crowd and the Scottish people are always fantastic. Treat me like one of their own. Anytime I've raced here, anytime I'm up here, they're so good to me. So yeah, great stuff. Bagpipes are blowing and the race will be underway in a bit. Let's have a little wander around this way. And lots of cars getting started up. Lots of cars just doing their running through their start procedure, making sure everything's warmed up. We're not far away now from the race starting a bit later on. We've got actually a public grid walk before the race as well, so a little bit of time there for the cars to sit on the grid, make sure they're all running up to temperature. A lot of damage and a lot of mechanical woes, as you've just heard from people around the pit and the paddock, but I am still wondering what is going to go on with that race win by Jenson Brickley. I don't want him to lose it, but if he's pushed Alex Lay out the way and he's pushed another person, this is Simon. He said I'm a professional. He obviously knows nothing. But yeah, I'm quite interested to see what happens with Jenson, because I'm the last person, that wants to see the win taken away. But if it's a push to pass on Alex Lay, it's going to be an interesting one, because there was other bits and bobs with Jack Constable as well. So let's let the race directors deal with that and see what happens. But yeah, it's good to see TCR UK here, and everything looks pretty swimmingly good. A lot of people, a lot of public here actually, and it's good to see that, because TCR UK is growing big time, and a lot of people on Facebook, when I've mentioned it, have always wanted to come and watch what it's all about. And what they don't realise is it's all front-wheel drive cars, but the racing is as spectacular as any other tin top racing in the UK. So it is good. Good teams as well. Actually, follow me. Let's go and see if we can just have a quick word if he's around with Alex Lay. I'm not too sure. Yeah, I can actually see him in there, so let's go and have a little word with him. Quite interesting. Adam Shepherd third in the last race, but he did make me laugh because he didn't even know he was third until I interviewed him. So let's go and speak to Alex, and Josh Files is with him actually. They're both texting each other. 1 sec, we won't go in there because it might be a bit dark. I'm just going to ask him, Josh, can I just speak to Alex 1 second? He come over straight away. He's a professional. He's like, oh yeah, you want to speak to us? Alex, get off your phone. Are you texting Josh Files?
No, I was just Josh posted an Instagram story. I mean, I was reposting
it. you like a bit of social media. Social media is quite important, isn't it? Actually, to be fair, for TCR UK, for a professional racing driver.
Yeah, it's good for the exposure and stuff and getting sponsors. So yeah, I think it's quite important. So.
How important is it to have Hyundai on board? Have you been out doing anything with them lately? What's been going on? Sometimes you go to Mugello and things like that.
Yeah, I've had a test at Misano and Mugello. It's really good to get. We do like quali runs, race runs, and it's with BRC, so it's the WTCR team for Hyundai. So no, it's proper.
First time I've seen you smile, mate. You look well excited about that.
No, yeah, it's awesome.
Top man. Listen, heard anything about Jenson Brickley, or is that all gone quiet?
I just been in the shirts and I came first, so.
Oh, so that is. Yeah. So you are the winner.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, there you go. It's straight from the horse's mouth. We didn't even know about that. Can I bring Josh Files in just a sec as well? Because I know Josh helps you. Josh helps you a lot. Mr. TCR, as we like to call you. How much did you have an input on that decision? Because you have to take someone in with you usually, don't you?
To be honest, it was so clear cut. They didn't actually even have to speak to us. We were just waiting in the sort of shadows, just in case it didn't go the way we thought it should go, and it did. So, had it have not, the checkbook would have been out, and we would have had a word.
What was the decision? Was it contact with Alex, or was it contact with other people as well?
I think obviously Jenson had a few nudges with some people, so they had to see to sort of be seen to be doing something. But obviously with Alex it was clear cut because he just sort of torpedoed him from the rear and pushed him wide. So it was quite easy for them to just reverse those positions. So,
what was the penalty in the end?
I understand it's 10 seconds, but I don't actually know because it's not been confirmed yet. But I think he's been sort of put a few places back. So
sound. Appreciate that, lads. Appreciate your honesty. How how pleased are you with his progress?
Oh, he's been mega. I mean, he's not had the easiest start to the year, and we've had a few little teething problems with the car, but we're definitely, getting him and the car in a better window. You've got to remember, he's just won that race with 40 kilos on board as well, which round here is really killing the tyre, the car. So for him to defend against the Coopers, which are obviously massively quicker this weekend, and actually get the well-deserved win, he's done a great job.
Top man, I did mention in commentary that the car was a lot heavier than the two behind you, so well done, mate. Final word is congratulations to our race winner. What can you do in the last one?
We'll see. Hopefully, a repeat of that one. So, but we'll see in half an hour, isn't it? Or so, yeah.
Not too far off, mate. Come and catch you on the grid. Well done, spot on. Great drive from Alex. I must admit, I'm glad he won that. He definitely deserved to win that. So, I reckon there's not much else going on. So I'm going to ask, how much time do we have left? Do we have a lot less or a lot more time left? Do we know what is on the timer? Let me have I'll tell you what, we'll stop here. I'll make it a lot easier. Have we got a lot more time left? No. I'll tell you what we're going to do then, because the racing will start in a couple of seconds. It actually won't. So, do you know what we're going to do for the next 2 minutes? Quickly grab a word with Rob Boston Racing, if that's okay. I've been told we've got a little bit of time, so let's do it. Proper professional outfit, these guys. Rob Boston is the team owner, and Rob is doing the most work out of everyone. And look at that, HMRC. We'll find out that he's actually working and making hundreds of thousands of pounds. Good to see you all, guys. Rob, can I quickly grab you for a word, mate? Always just saying how professional the team is. Fantastic. I've worked with you quite a bit, and I know how meticulous you are. Great to have two fast drivers. Didn't really work out for you, did it, in that race we just seen? But going forward should be cool. And Alex Lee has been given the win.
Yeah, saw that. Yeah, we were down at the Clark's office as it was happening. So I mean, that's fair. There was a few incidents in the race, so the Clark's have dealt with at least a couple of them properly. There was maybe one still contentious with Jack that we probably should have got reversed, but that's racing. But yeah, we were good. We were quick. We were happy. Drivers were happy. Didn't really get to show what we could have done. I'm not just saying this. I think we could have had a 1-2 in that race if it had panned out normally.
What do you reckon then for this last race?
Well, we put some of our eggs in one basket. We've only kept a few out for this one, so it's going to be a little bit tougher this one. But we've still got some good tyres to put on the car, and the setup was really good from the last race. So I'm still looking punchy. We're starting 7th and 3rd with the two drivers today. Joe's got a good crack at a win here, and Jack's got a chance of a podium if it all goes right.
So these two boys still in with the championship shout?
Oh yeah, absolutely. to the bitter end. To the bitter end.
That's what happens when you're a racer. Rob Boston is a racer. So I think what we'll do is we'll stop here abruptly. Sorry about that, you just smacked yourselves right into the awning. But we're going to go to an ad break, and then we'll get the race and the grid walk underway.